Yeah. So that section will only be heard by the if everything borks and mental posts.
Pretty much. That's
yes.
usually how it goes.
And thank you for being back up. It's very good. Are we ready?
Yay!
Yes.
Yes.
So what if we're not?
Welcome to Everyone Racers with overmodulated voice actor Jeff Wakeman. This is a show designed for the world of low dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run, STC or NASA, we won't discriminate as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news and notes in the world of amateur endurance racing. And whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm mental.
Oh, come on.
Okay, I'll do it normally. And we are everyone. My regular voice is shot.
It's fine.
Turn music off. There you
I'm
go.
getting there. It's professional.
Professional what?
I couldn't even hear it. My voice is slightly blown, so excuse me. And we are, we are Everyone Racers. Thank you for coming back and listening to the anniversary, the 3-year anniversary edition of Everyone Racers. We have a cat and a ram. I don't know what's going on. A cat and a goat.
Jeff decided to let all of us share screens. So it's a cat riding on a goat.
Oh, this is going to be terrible if you're not on YouTube. Anyway, keep going.
I thought that was mental sharing some sort of like happy anniversary.
Yeah, I thought it was a cute picture.
And it was going to be like of the wedding and there's like a cat riding a goat. I'm like, mental, that's not the right screen, man. You got to be careful. Oh my gosh. What is are you two celebrating your anniversary tonight or are you doing that later? Like later in the week. I
have a quarter glass of wine. Woo! Chris is finishing a claw. That's celebrating. No, we're celebrating with you guys because apparently it's Wednesday. It's our anniversary and we're celebrating with you.
I have to say it was the second best wedding ever.
I think both of
A
you
lot of people
said
say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Second best wedding I've ever been to.
Yeah,
And for those, because we haven't made that leap yet. If you didn't see this on the social medias, it is Chris and Chrissy's 3rd wedding anniversary.
Woo!
Did I just say that?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I said 3rd anniversary. I don't think I said the word wedding. So.
Okay,
Right.
great.
And I put this in the notes. Shout out to Bobbin because totally would have missed it if she didn't post something today. So I had to go back and rewrite the notes.
Also, the Slack announcement on our channel.
Helps.
That's
Yeah,
true. It
Slack
always
bot-
helps. Everybody's
Haven't been on
birthday
Slack
helps.
yet. Sorry.
Slackbot tells
yeah.
us it's an anniversary. Yes, and it
Yeah.
showed up on my
Well-
memories today as well.
September 15th, 3 years ago, we all celebrated the Chris and Chrissy nuptials on the beach in Cape Cod. It was wonderful. And then we ate lobster. I ate lobster like 6 times that weekend. So
That,
that was
Jennifer, that's what Jen said. She wanted to eat
First
lobster
world
every time.
problems.
yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know that the Reverend at that ceremony was a little weird.
Yeah, he was weird. And he had terrible voice and his wires weren't together. So
Fortunately, there was no wires, but he had great cufflinks, so that's all that matters.
I something came up. I don't remember what it was. And I brought up Matt, Pantless Matt. We all know Pantless Matt. He was on the show recently. And I said to the lovely and talented Jennifer, I think we should impart the 2 words of wisdom that Matt has ever given me that were perfect. One of them
3?
was there's two. No.
Oh, 2
different
phrases.
statements, 2 phrases.
Got it.
2
Got
phrases.
it. Yep.
And the first one was from the show, and it was "Don't be a douche, be a dude."
Yep.
And then the second one is what he screamed out right as I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin the wedding."
Your wife pushed record, 4 seconds before you started. She basically was like, "You ready? Okay, you're ready. Yep. Everything's silent."
And Matt
Go.
screams, "Hey, Jeff, don't fuck it up." Or "Don't fuck this up, Jeff," as I think
That's
it's
exactly what
I
he
think that's
said.
what it was, yes.
And he did not know that he did that
And he
until
was standing next to my wife. So it is the loudest thing on the recording of your wedding.
and I told him this at Thompson the next year. He had no idea and was mortified. I don't know.
No, don't be upset. It's
I said it, and
hilarious we
he
love it.
does this
Yes.
blank, like actual serious, like what? And I was like, yo, yeah, you did that. And he was like, oh my God. And I was like, no, this is great.
It was fun.
You, and it's
It's
fun.
It's hilarious.
It's
now.
hilarious.
I-
There were
it's
only
hilarious
grandparents
that-
around. It was cool. Yeah.
I remember as we were walking down, there was a like an 8-year-old girl that was playing in her backyard that backed up to the beach, and she stopped me and Vicky, and she said, "What's going on over there?" And I said, "They're getting married." And she just gets like this, doughy-eyed look. She goes, "You think they'd be mad if I came and watched?" And I thought for a second, I'm like, I am absolutely certain Chrissy would be more mad if you didn't come
No,
watch.
But the funny thing is she sat on the rocks behind us. So half of the pictures of us have
Have
Totally
her
fun.
in it. Yeah,
totally photobombed. It was
No,
great.
no
She's trying
problem.
to stay out of the way. So
Oh my God.
nicely.
So
Yeah.
awesome. No, it was great.
Oh well.
Great
Oh,
wedding.
anyway, had a great time.
I know.
Hey, that was all pre-COVID. So,
Yeah. We just gave
It was
each
like-
other our germs and it didn't matter. We didn't
at least
die.
87 years ago, I think.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Shall we move on to what you're working on?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mental.
Sure.
You started up today. What you working on?
Earlier this week, I had car show planning. We'll talk later on in the episode about the Vegas Car Fest, or as you hashtag it, Vegas AF.
Nice.
Yep. Tomorrow and Friday, our building has a power outage. So I will be working from an alternate location that looks a lot like my garage.
Nice.
That's the official thing. Because we are figuring out COVID, at least to a point where we can get together again. A person who was a coworker at the time and then would have been my boss now, but we're having a memorial service. He passed away in like really at the height of the pandemic. And so now they're having a celebration of life ceremony for him on Friday. So I'll be doing that. I now am happy to announce that the entirety of the outside of my roof now functions as a roof.
Oh, yeah.
It keeps nature out and air conditioning in. So now it's all just trim work. I got to go up there and put down all the little overlap and the stuff you do where the rubber overlapped and everything like that. But yeah, it's now I just get the inside of the roof and start on that.
Yeah.
It's always helpful
Oh.
to keep nature out and the air conditioning in
Yeah.
when you live in a desert.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. Who's next? Chrissy?
Hey, I just want to make sure that the whole show knows that I'm always working on the house stuff because someone needs to cook and clean around here or we'd be eating way too much takeout. So you'll hear all about what Chris has done, which is very extensive, but I have to cook and clean. Anyway, I also washed the Merc, which really needed it. The water was actually black. Even though it's a very dark blue car, when you wash it, it looks 100% better.
We've
And
driven it
then-
a lot in the last month or two.
Yes. Through storms, yes. I mean, it looks great for a blue car. It doesn't look that dirty. And then when you wash it, it looks very clean. It looks very nice. And then I washed the NSX as well. It didn't need it, but it looks much shinier and beautiful because I drove it, which I will talk about later. And then we had the fam over. We had my sister and fam over for a glorious grilled brisket dinner. And yes, it was lovely.
That sounds exciting.
Yes, it was.
That sounded exciting.
That's what I did.
Should I go next?
Please.
For those of you watching on YouTube, you'll notice that I am out of the, what was
Cre-
it? The Calvin Klein creepy.
The creepy Calvin Klein
Creepy
wood
Calvin
paneled.
my desk has
dungeon.
not yet returned. There's where the desk lives. But there's carpet. Woo! When the floor is dry, I'm very excited. Most of the stuff is back in the office, and if I ever get a day off, I'll be able to move all my furniture back in. But and start putting the life back together, which is always a benefit.
Did you
but
put the stuff on the floor, or did you just put
Yeah.
the carpet down? Okay.
Oh, you mean like the
The stopper thing that no one had in stock.
Yeah.
the carpet pad that is okay to get wet and acts as a moisture barrier is down. We did
Okay.
not put the concrete sealant that
Okay.
people were like, this will stop the problem from happening in the future.
Yeah.
Because that is still impossible to find. And we
Mm.
really said, like, if it took 7 years to do it the first time, if it does it again, we're just going to rip the carpet out and put in vinyl plank because that's what we kind of wanted to do anyway.
Sure.
But
Makes
so
sense.
anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's what we did. I am 2/3 through my 3-week without a day off thing at work. So my patience,
Check it off.
my patience is getting very thin. We were at Boy Scouts last night with Josh, and I was like, I could kill all of these people and it would feel so good.
Except the children, of course.
Not the
'cause Jeff
children.
was
I meant the
know.
other adult leaders who were like,
No, all of them.
no, it's
The
like
kids would. The kids would help him.
we walked in and I was like, why isn't everybody wearing their mask? We're supposed to be indoors. Anyway, it was a day. But anyway, yeah. So that happened. I did have one day off and I spent it the absolute worst way I could. Instead of like sleeping or like
Watched F1.
I cleaned my Veloster N, like really cleaned it. Like
No, that's
detail-
not the
What?
worst way ever.
I
No,
don't
it's
even
just horrible.
believe it.
You bought the
detail
new
clean
car.
the outside.
Love the new car.
Race rubber remover. Chris, thanks for the suggestion. I
Works great.
had a clay bar mitt. It wasn't like a clay bar. It was like a mitt. There was a clay bar.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
Wait. And here's the best part. I had a do-it-yourself ceramic coating kit, and I ceramic coated the Veloster N. Not fun. Who said Jeff should get a light blue car with lots of shiny black accents? Now I'm like, it's so dirty. So that's why I did it.
We didn't think you had that gene. We didn't. think
I do.
You had.
I
the-
discovered the gene. I want a hosies now. It's terrible. This is for the birds. A cheap detailer. Some student was in my office and he mentioned, oh yeah, and I detail cars inside. I was like, how much do you charge? I'm never doing that again. I will pay you to do this. But yeah, I probably would again.
That's still progress. You're
Yeah.
paying people to detail your cars because before it was, it's not even a free vacuum. I'm not doing anything with the soup. I believe that the storm may have just knocked out the power over at Chris and Chrissy's.
Wow, that's exciting. Us left alone could do like a 9-hour episode. Should we cover what Chris did or should we just skip it until he gets back?
Ooh, actually, no, because we talked about this when we had our Sunday business conference call, and it doesn't surprise anyone that knows Chris, but it's still a good story. So
Okay, we'll let him sell it.
if he comes back, we should do that. Now we've got you know what? I feel like we could just go ahead and jump into news and notes.
Yeah. News and notes time. Mental, you're out there in the West.
I am.
This is where they have those Mustang police cars every now
Oh,
and
not
then. Have you
not
seen
just I grew up in Georgia and Florida with the old original 4i
them? Like Fox
S-
body.
Fox body notch SSP package. In fact, if you can still find one of those, they are highly valuable.
Yeah. Jim Thwaite had one for a little while. But anyway, so Mustang police cars are not new, but how about an electric version?
Mm.
Ooh. If that's not different enough, well, how about an electric Mustang police car in England? Jolly old, according to Haggerty, quote, the Rozzers, if you know who they are, that's the London Metropolitan Police, are soon getting a police spec Mustang Mach-E. The Mach-E GT, as a matter of fact, can get to 100 kilometers per hour. Why this is in metric, I'll never know. We're American, damn it. In 3.7 seconds, which is 0 to 60, in case you haven't figured it out. 62, technically. It's also able to cover 379 miles on a charge. So it's not that much of a stretch because England is not as big as you think. According to the article, well, they're also the city division. So according to the article, the modifications are minimal, just LED light pods, a distinctive wrap in the same scheme as other London police, which is like eye-shockingly yellow and orange.
Because European law enforcement cares about actually doing safety things instead of
True.
hiding
Yeah.
with ghost cars and things
Roscoe
like that.
Peacock train in his
Yeah.
all black Charger, there to protect and serve. Really? It looks like you're there to hide. But anyway, additionally, constables in Sussex, Surrey, Wales, Devon, Cornwall, and Scotland are also scheduled to get behind the wheel of the
Yeah,
Mustang.
can't wait to get behind the wheel
I-
of an electric Mustang.
doing
I'm
that.
looking for the time.
As such, this is now officially Britain's fastest cop car. The U.S. Fords are already as fast as police special with the F-150 police responder. Additionally, several U.S. states run Teslas as law enforcement. So if the Mustang E works in the UK, it'll come here, but it still won't be as fast because the Teslas are a little faster than the Mach-E.
Yeah, I just don't know if you can't cram a drunk person in the back of a Tesla.
I think you can.
You don't want them to throw up in one.
Hi, Chris and Chrissy are back.
Hi, very sorry. This might not be the end.
Hi.
We figured what happened probably happened. You guys probably had a power outage. Just because we talked about it on Sunday, but we skipped over what Chris is working on because I think it's a great story.
So,
yeah.
Chris, what you working on?
Can we go back?
Yes.
Absolutely.
We just finished my news story, so all the other news is still open. Go ahead, Chris.
Fantastic. Well, hey, we were out on the boat on Saturday. Yeah, and it was a great time. It was our local lake. And this is where, and that's one more time, it pays to be handy and prepared. And it would just, luckily, we happen to be kind of one of those. So we're spent the nice day out in the lake. On our way home, we see an 80s deck boat with about 9 people on it, including 2 of those were in a tube. Even though you're not supposed to be swimming because the lagoon algae is a little too high. But anyway, everyone on the boat is waving their arms at you as you go by.
This wasn't a high.
Oh my God, is that a Boston Whaler? I love that boat.
Is that Chris and Chrissy? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
hey.
right.
That's everyone racers.
Right.
I want a sticker.
Uh-huh. So you
Or
gotta
a
go over,
koozie.
right. You got to go say hi. And the one guy says, I don't have any power. Do you have any jumper cables? I'm like, I'm in my boat. I don't have any jumper cables. Right.
It's not like you're fishing. Why would you have jumper cables?
Yeah. And so I'm thinking, all right, he has no power, no electricity, can't start it. It's a inboard out drive, so it's got some kind of iron block V8 in the back. Sarah, well, what do we have? And I'm thinking that I don't want to tow this guy 2 miles to the ramp at 5 miles an hour.
That's a big lake.
It's going to take a while.
And he's at the opposite dock that we need to go to. So it's not even like if we get home, we still have to go somewhere.
Yeah. So Chrissy then suggests, hey, you know what? We have an extra battery in the back of the truck. It's the one we use for the power winch on the trailer. Fantastic. So we say, we got something. We'll be right back. So we take off down the lake at 35 miles an hour, which is much better than 5. Get to the dock, walk to the truck, grab the battery, walk it back, hop back in the boat, drive back to these people, give them the battery. Guy was ready to go, puts it right in. Thing starts right up, and the first time I know I can tell he's not much of a boater is that he starts it and it's kind of chugging a little bit. It's not running like he needs to give it some gas. He doesn't know how to give it gas. So I said, all right, the throttle, see that button in the middle, push that, and then you can use the throttle like a gas pedal. And he does, and it works, and it revs right up, and everything's okay. So it's running okay. He goes back to the back to take the leads off to give us our battery back, so that the alternator will power at home. Right. As soon as he takes the leads off, boat dies. Puts it back on, runs fine. Off, boat dies. So alternator's dead too. So we said, all right, we'll follow you back to the ramp and grab our battery there. So we did. Followed them back to the ramp, got our battery, and then went and took our boat out, and then had to help somebody else taking their sailboat out who didn't. It was just a couple taking like a 22-foot sailboat out that obviously hadn't done this very much.
They were
based
a
on
hot
everything.
mess. They were
pull
this
really
side,
bad.
pull this side, pull this side. Oh, it didn't work. And they both have sneakers on, so it's not like somebody can just stand on the whatever. It was
So finally, I grabbed an oar that we have in our boat, and I grabbed it and I just push a little here, push a little there. Say, okay, pull, and it went right into the spot on the trailer, and they were fine. Jeff.
So they were like trailer in the drink, having trouble getting the hull onto the trailer.
Yeah.
Yes,
because
correct.
Got it.
This is a float-on trailer. Like the back bumper of the truck was basically in the water. They were a little too far in.
Yeah.
Like the truck was blowing bubbles, but it, yeah, that's what they thought they needed to put this boat on. Whatever, it's fine. They couldn't get it aligned in the way the keel has to be in the trailer, and they were clearly new to this. So and other people who were clearly new to this anyway. So got them going, and we.
It's like my favorite YouTube channels. Boat
ramp
fails.
fails.
Boat ramp fails.
My new one is haul over. Do you know what haul over is?
No.
Oh, I don't know if I should get into this on the podcast because nobody cares, but Haulover is some sort of inlet in Miami with the nastiest swells you've ever seen in your
I've
life.
seen this. I've seen
And
this.
the guys just stand out there all day and just watch the boats come in and out. And they're like, they're getting like festered in this swell. It's hilarious.
You know what we also like is like yacht fails.
Oh,
and
yacht fails are good too.
Shipwreck,
Cruise ship.
cruise ship fails. Oh, the
All right,
best.
because like yacht fails and boat fails, people, hey, you know what? Like they just started out, or like that family, he probably bought that pontoon boat used, didn't realize it had a bad alternator. But yacht, or rather cruise ship, no, you're paid for this. You better be friggin' perfect.
And then when
So,
you
yeah,
take
I
out
don't
like
feel bad mocking cruise ship fails.
when you
no.
take out concrete barriers and stuff,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like, you're messing up
Or-
so many.
or
You
sink-
have no job.
Sink a tugboat with your bow thruster.
Yeah.
the only one of those boat fails things that I ever actually enjoyed was a guy is using his Class A RV to back his boat into the water,
No.
and the dog knocks the lever into reverse and backs the entire thing in. And what's funny, I mean, this is not a cheap RV. This is not a cheap boat. Guy thinks of one thing, leaps from the boat, runs to the RV,
Gets
as it
the
is
dog.
backing into the water, is getting into the RV and grabs the dog.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, the RV is in the water,
floating.
but he's trying to get the dog out.
Got the dog.
Oh,
And
that's
then
funny.
like later they show the tow truck come and get all three of these things out there, and the guy's like, I got insurance as long as the dog's okay.
Oh, that's nice.
But
That's a good
the
attitude.
dog was the
Aw.
one that knocked it into reverse.
Oh,
So
yeah.
before we go down
Bad
the whole
dog.
of everyone,
Bad dog.
everyone boaters, Chris, if you want to jump down to your news and notes.
or if you
Well,
still
I
have
Oh,
things
no,
to
no,
say.
he's got a
Oh,
lot of
sorry.
math.
Stuff too.
Oh yeah.
I did a lot to the Mazda. When last we left the Mazda, the engine and transmission were sitting on the floor, separate. The suspension was entirely apart. No axles, no nothing. The thing, I was looked at it and went, "Ooh, it's a long way apart. That's a lot of work." One of those. Now engine and trans are back in, suspension, axles all back together, brakes back in, new oil cooler installed, bumper back on. The only things left needs a longer shift cables, because the Speed 3 shifter position is the way the cables are attached, because it's an entirely different transmission. Shares nothing but a bell housing pattern and with the old one. So cables are much longer. So I need Speed 3 cables. Need to modify the ECU bracket that I'd previously made, because the transmission and the shifter are so big they exactly have the same space. Need to swap to the Speed 3 slave cylinder, because it is a larger diameter, and if you use the regular Mazda 3 slave cylinder, it results in a very stiff clutch pedal, which I put it on and I said, "Yep, that's a stiff clutch pedal. Let's use the Speed one." And need to adjust the subframe and alignment and then see if it all works. So I need to junkyard up order those shift cables and keep putting the rest of it back together.
I didn't hear anything about oil cooler. Was there something wrong with the old oil cooler?
Were you at
Oh,
Thompson, Jeff?
that's right. We broke it at the old Thompson.
I mean, like,
forgot.
where were you? Because I think he cleaned some of that oil up.
All I see
car
is
broke.
clutch.
He started drinking.
No,
Forget
no.
Yeah,
I was
he's
under
like,
there
screw
scrubbing
y'all, I
it
gotta go to bed.
forever.
We were all scrubbing oil off that car.
Scrubbing oil, yeah.
When you pour a gallon of oil under the car, it takes a while to clean it up.
I was so
And it's
scarred with
Chrissy's car, so you can't leave it dirty.
I was so scarred
no.
with the slave cylinder inability to get it to function, the transmission. I had completely forgotten that we were doused in oil.
Yeah.
Yep,
So,
that was a thing.
New oil cooler installed. And the whole time I've had stuff apart, I keep cleaning up spilled oil.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrible down there.
Like I even had the radiator off and stuff. Like, nope.
Actually, you did a whole lot of cleaning while the engine was out.
Yeah. Got
When
in
it
there.
was
Triple
out.
green.
We saw
Clean it
that the picture of the one Chris Power.
Yep.
In direct contrast to the Honda when it had 3 Chris Power.
It's
True. It's obligatory. When the engine's out, you have to take a picture.
I have to take a
standing in the
picture
engine bay.
inside it.
Like,
Yep.
Both of
it
us
has to
wouldn't
happen.
fit in this month.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, so that's what I've been doing, a lot of stuff. And
Wow.
there you go.
All right. Back to news and
Sorry.
notes. Chris, you're
Thank
up
you.
again. 'Cause,
Sorry.
you know,
All right. Well, hey, upon its introduction, the new C8 Corvette was the fastest selling new car in the United States. And that means how quickly does it turn over from when it hits the lot to how it's out the door. But now, as Peter Holderit tells us at Jalopnik, that's been dethroned by a truckette, the 22 Hyundai Santa Cruz. They're spending less than 8 days on dealers' lots, part of which is attributed to the new car shortage, but also apparently it's quite well received, amazingly, because of all the hate the Ridgeline gets. But apparently the Ridgeline really was ahead of its time. And points well for the Maverick for Ford. As much as we love our full-size tow pigs, primarily GM, but big tow pigs are great. This new little demographic of compact unibody pickups and low price tags. Maybe
I'm all for
we're
it.
not going to see as much of bro-dozers. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
Anything that gets rid of bro-dozers is great. I want to see Dodge come out with a Rampage, just cause.
Yeah.
They already had the Magnum, which was a station wagon.
Mhm.
Truck bed that
That's to be a perfect time for GM to call it an El Camino.
Well,
Four-cylinder front drive car truck thing.
I've been
Kind
trying
of-
to convince all the major manufacturers to bring us Australian Utes.
which they don't make anymore. There's nobody building cars in Australia.
I
anymore.
know.
Yeah.
But they should.
They should.
Chrissy,
All right.
nice.
As long as nobody
nice little
Carolina squats their Maverick.
No, Carolina Squat your Maverick all you want. I saw a Carolina Squat truck in Jersey the other day, and I was like, damn.
What does that mean?
That's when the pickup trucks look like towing a very large invisible trailer.
Okay.
Usually accompanied by 25 to 28 inch rims with like 1 inch profile tires that won't get them out, which won't get them out of
Right.
dusty parking lot, much less.
And they're going to
anything.
last you about a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Okay.
the
Thanks.
joy of the Carolina Squat is now your already way too lifted truck you can't see because the hood's in your way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Kids
All
these
right.
days.
Kids these days. It's not a stretch to say that Lance Stroll's only an F1 because of his father, Lawrence Stroll.
Son of a bitches. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry that your father doesn't make $3.2 billion. That's what he's worth now. But
I take it back. Mazapan, sons of bitches. Go
all right, fine. But depending on your perspective, Lawrence Stroll may be doing a good thing for Formula One. As the owner of Aston Martin Formula One team, he told the Financial Times that he is going to invest £200 million which is $275 million into a new F1 development campus to enable Aston Martin to go toe-to-toe with Red Bull and Mercedes. The facility will be located near Silverstone and construction's already started. This will be the first new F1 facility since McLaren opened its walking campus 17 years ago. While Stroll is talking to banks about various funding options, he said, "Right now, I want to finance it just myself." That's just
Must be
pocket change,
nice.
right? I like to be in control of the building. I don't want to have somebody every time I want to talk to somebody. Every time I want to change a light bulb. The almost 400,000 square foot testing campus is projected to have its own wind tunnel to test and improve aerodynamics. Aston Martin F1 expects to complete work on new headquarters by 2023, which is right around the corner.
Excuse me, Mr. Stroll. What is his first name? Lawrence
Lawrence.
Stroll. Excuse me, Larry. How about you put some of that money into like Aston Martin making a good car again?
The Aston Martin's profitable. That stupid SUV is making them money.
Ugh. What is that thing called? I can't even remember.
DBX.
DBX, yes.
Mhm.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
Now,
Although I don't think he actually owns enough of Aston Martin to make those decisions. He actually only owns the Aston Martin Formula One crew.
That's
so.
correct.
He
He
owns
can
quite
do
a-
it.
He owns quite a bit of the actual.
Absolutely, quite a bit, but I don't think he is as large in charge as like an Elon would be. But anyway,
No.
Next
All right,
story.
cool.
I'm sorry.
Also over at Jalopnik, Lawrence Hodge compiled a list of the 10 worst car myths from their readers. I figured we could do a little group discussion on this and y'all chime in if you've heard any of these recently, because some of them I was a little surprised that they're still existing. One of the first one is cross-drilled brakes are better.
No, dumb.
Yeah.
They crack.
Not only do I still hear this, I see it on new cars. Yeah, there's another generation of CLS
Like
ahead of
yours
mine. Yeah, exactly.
And mine.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
The,
And then-
the slotted rotor is really just like the worst thing. I mean, I guess
Well,
it
has-
No, the slotted is better than
slotteds-
drilling.
Yeah, slotted work great. They clear
It
the
provides
gases
the
out.
same outgassing.
No,
effect
the
without
ones
the
that are
crack.
slotted all the way through that you
Oh.
see on all the
I think those are just
Import
worn out because they
racer.
didn't change their brake pads and they've ground through the metal.
Yes.
The other one is that this one still lurks around is that Ralph Nader's book killed the Corvair. Now, Nader owned a Corvair. It was actually an indictment on the auto industry as sales and marketing techniques. And we had Kyle Smith, who owns a second generation Corvair, which addressed all the issues of the first generation, and it went on to sell forever. So if you're buying into that one, this one actually got me chuckling is lifetime fluids.
No.
You know,
It's never
yeah.
a good idea.
No, you don't have to change
it's-
that. It's lifetime.
Yeah, it's lifetime. The lifetime's just
Blinker fluid, maybe,
half-
but like
half of
other
what
than
it's
that,
supposed to be.
not
Right.
so much.
You get the something on your lip there,
I
Chrissy.
know,
don't
right?
if you-
Isn't it cute?
Chrissy's messing with the backgrounds. And if we're gonna play the background game, do the cool ones.
I was surprised to see that the whole thing about Toyota's unintended acceleration nonsense, because all of the big cases that went to court, it turned out that usually those people are in financial straits and they couldn't afford their Prius or whatever it was.
There's always a Prius which doesn't have the power to really actually do anything. If you push both pedals all the way down, it will stop.
If you hold the on-off button, it turns off. Yeah.
People.
This one's one of my favorites. Is they don't make them like they used to, and I just typed in, yeah, okay, boomer.
Well, it's true. You don't have to adjust your points every 1,000 miles.
It's actually better.
And,
So
and
there's
rebuild your
that.
engine every 50,000. And
Yeah,
if it's cold, it starts.
yeah.
and stuff.
And anyone that has driven big American, like Sajeev loves his 80s Fords, and there is something to driving a late 70s luxury car.
But he knows they suck.
Yeah, exactly. And then he fixes all the things that suck on him. But like a big 70s luxury barge, it's unique. It's not good. It's just different. Yeah. Never heard this one. Never inflate your tires to maximum PSI or you risk a blowout.
Huh?
I don't know the blowout thing.
Never
but
heard of that in my life.
Also, in general, though, some people look at the sidewall and tire and say, "Oh, that's the pressure to put it to," and they put it to 51, even though the
That-
car sidewall
probably not
says
correct.
28. Right.
Yeah.
But it should be okay.
Now, I think mine actually, my factory recommended gas cap setting is about within 2 pounds of my maximum.
It is.
Yes.
Well, 'cause it's big,
Yeah.
powerful, heavy car that goes 190 miles an hour. Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
alarmingly quickly. This is fun. The low mileage used cars are good, and I'll buy that in the collector car world. But a car that's sat, especially here, a car that is sat for 4 years and only has like 10,000 miles, you don't want that thing.
As one of your
You gotta-
co-hosts bought a 1-year-old car with 1,000 miles on it.
that's 1 year. Nothing bad can happen
That's
that long.
true.
But like,
this-
yeah, it sits in somebody's driveway. You got critters living in it. You got sun bleach.
Well, you
Things
gotta
start
find
to
the
rust and
balance.
seize. Yeah.
It's got to move. But even in the collector car world, hey, I have a collector Corvette with a low 44,000 miles on it.
You're not
And
wrong.
you know what? That didn't help it. It didn't help it at all.
Yeah. The one, there is a rationale for not wearing a seatbelt. Now I'm the old man of this show, and I remember
Are you going to
Right
get
at-
thrown clear?
Yeah,
Ah,
that
good job.
crap. Right as I started driving is when seatbelt laws are mandatory, and it's just always been a thing. But you always get those things kill more people than they save, or my one cousin's uncle's friend's butcher's blah 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 blah.
These
was
are the
killed
same
because they wore a
idiots.
seatbelt. Yeah,
These are the same idiots taking ivermectin right now.
Oh,
Oh, it's a good thing all the microchips are in the horse tranquilizers now. So
instead of the cars where they belong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cars are the best way to get around. We love our cars, but we've got to get over this us versus them mentality. Yeah, I've ridden my bicycle to work. I haven't done it this year, but I've done it in the past. I had some guy yell at me, "What the hell are you doing on the road, you fucking weirdo?" Really? Yeah. And the thing is, he had to pull a cigarette out of his mouth. I'm like, I don't know if you really want to pick a fight with someone that rides, not me, but people that ride bicycles to work and you smoke, you're losing that fight. But even to paraphrase Jay Leno, if we embrace these kind of new transportation paradigms, walking community, stuff like that, it's going to save this hobby rather than kill it, in the same way that it is much better to be a horse now than when it was when we depended on horses for transportation. So, and then my last one, this one made me chuckle, so I left it in. Pickup trucks are the best in the snow. Yes, I get it. I'm the Southern guy, but I lived in Nebraska and Colorado and had a truck in both of them, and they suck. The really creative guys would would leave them in 4-wheel drive and then pull the drive shaft out of the back of it, so they would only have front wheel drive.
What you need is a Jeep Cherokee or on snow tires.
Yeah.
There you go. Done.
The best I ever got around in Colorado, I had a 2-wheel drive F-150. Is I had bought for $20, I had bought a 289 engine block that turned out to be beyond salvaging, but it started snowing before I took it to the junkyard, so I left it in the back of that truck, and I didn't have any problems getting around that year.
Yeah, my dad used to drive Chevy Vans in the wintertime because his
Oh.
S class wouldn't make it up the hill of our house in the wintertime.
So a
So-
van was the better option?
Well, because he also owned a printing company, so they used a forklift and put half a pallet of paper in the back over the axle, and then it was fine.
That's funny. I had my 300 D, the W123, when it snowed in Oklahoma, was actually alarmingly good because it would just go through snowbanks, but it
Yeah.
weighed a ton.
Your,
We had
your
a-
dog is
we had a steep
requiring
driveway.
attention.
Yeah.
I walk around my parents' neighborhood. You know, they only live 3 blocks over there. And every time I walk around their neighborhood, I pass a honest to goodness Quigley conversion 4-wheel drive jacked up van on like 33-inch tires.
Nice.
I love that thing.
Uh-huh.
Every time I
Those are
go
great.
by, I'm like, I got to meet this dude.
That's great.
Cool.
Cool.
Now, speaking of people you got to meet this weekend, if you're anywhere near the Las Vegas area, we're going to be at the Red Rock Country Club. Over 300 hot rods, classics, exotics, sports cars. Everything is going to be on the gorgeous overlooking Las Vegas. And there will be the booth for Guys Customs bracelets, which Jeff and I are sporting right now. These
The
are
orange and blue one, not the one with the Chinese characters.
These are bespoke things. All right. I like them. They were made by an enthusiast spouse who liked cars, liked good watches, and wanted them to match. Mine is painted to match. You don't have to get anything that ridiculous, but mine matches the Mercedes. If you dig through our
I-
Instagram, I'll show you
I
the
got-
picture of that one.
Standard golf colors, of course.
Yeah. So check them out. You can only get them on Instagram, GYX_customs.
Guys, Customs GYX. Awesome. Upcoming races.
Okay, where AER is at Nelson's with a plural ledges. There are a whopping 19 cars. That is very
Wah,
sad.
wah.
Yeah,
Jeff, where's do you have
right.
trombone there still?
Ooh.
No
It's
trombone.
packed away. It's in
Oh.
the laundry room.
It
I
rusted.
do have a question though.
Before we start, go ahead.
No. Is Nelson's plural? I always thought Nelson's was possessive. I thought Nelson
Oh.
owned the leg.
The leg.
Nelson. It's
Oh.
not multiple Nelson. So I've never seen the apostrophe in the correct
Hmm.
spot.
I think it's
don't know.
Nelson with an S with an apostrophe afterwards. It's
Oh,
Plural
multiple
for-
Nelsons.
it's plural
Oh,
possessive.
It's
own
bold.
multiple legends. I
all of the
understand.
Nelsons own all of the legends.
Yes.
Whatever it is.
Let's be inclusive. Come
Let's
on.
think about this. So there's 19 cars and 9 of them are BMWs.
Oh, it's so bad.
Oh my gosh. 2 Miatas, no
Ah.
Hondas, 2 Porsches, and a very sad, hopefully they win neon.
Good for them.
Shoot.
They are. How much money are they losing on this?
Oh,
weekend?
I can't believe they
no.
ran it.
I wonder what
Honestly, yeah.
Nelson.
That
Yeah,
is-
because
that
they
is,
have canceled other events.
Yes,
Yeah.
they have.
Yeah, because John's not in the business of giving away money.
No, but they also like make custom shirts for everybody, and like they do not
Yeah,
skimp
yeah.
on things that they do there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
That's a shame.
I love AER. I hope they do better than this. Is it because Nelson's is just a little bit out of their region? I mean, they're more powerful in the east and the southeast. It seems they seem to get better car counts.
I
Or,
don't know.
or maybe a lot of their folks are getting slapped around by storm after storm after storm.
And this
Yeah,
is a
could
good,
be.
like a good time to race. Like most people are back home. They're not traveling. It's not a holiday. It's not too hot. Well, it's kind of hot. Oh well.
Mm.
It's a shame. They're not. Something's not going right for AER. Anyway. So Champ Car, they're at Palm Beach Raceway before it becomes a warehouse or a parking lot or a condo or a
Good
cheesecake
move.
factory or
Get
whatever.
there
it's gonna
now.
be. Right. 46 cars, 9 are BMWs, which is
Still
Boring.
Boring, but a,
Hey,
a low
much
percentage.
better ratio. Much
Yeah,
better
absolutely.
ratio than AER.
But
Uh,
the next one,
12 Miatas.
heck
Whew.
yeah.
All right. 1 Honda, 3 Porsches, and an Escort ZX2.
Nice.
That's the plucky favorite.
Yeah, nice. Where exactly is Palm Beach Raceway? I mean, obviously in Palm Beach.
Near
but
Palm Beach.
It's south of Miami. It's almost in the Keys. Extreme Experience goes there.
Got it.
It's so in a swamp, basically, because
Yeah.
It really is. The last event I did in Austin, it was a dual event, and they were sending us videos of them. And you not only could you tell you were in a swamp, it was pouring down rain, and the water had nowhere to go. So they were underwater.
And that's a good car count for Champ Car, because that's also
That's a
kind
good
of. I don't
proper
think
champ
they've.
car count. Yeah.
I don't think they've been down that far very often.
No.
I think
I'm looking up the map of Palm Beach International Raceway, and it is like
tiny.
no, but it's actually in a swamp. Like there's just pools all around it. Like they had to do landfill.
share the
I
screen
think.
so we can see it too.
Oh, you can share screens.
That's right. I forgot about that. Once I put the cat riding the goat, I was done.
But also, like most of Florida, south of Jacksonville, it's all just swamp.
So
Oh yeah! Wow, look at that.
yeah, it is in a swamp. It is not south of Miami though. Miami
I'm sorry.
is way down there.
I'm sorry,
yeah.
north of Miami. My apologies. I got
West
that one
Palm
way
Beach. It's actually quite close to my dad in the wintertime lives right there.
Yeah.
Close to
Nice.
that. But yeah, but if you
Alright.
just look at the water around this place.
Oh jeez!
Click
The
on
closer
satellite.
you get,
Wow.
Click on the satellite. See how bad that looks.
Yeah. Like
that's a lot of.
Yeah, they just
thought-
made a landmass
they,
there.
they filled in a little bit of land
Wow.
and
That-
made a
that's a-
drag strip
That's
and then
impressive.
a
That's a
couple
lot
corners.
of cottonmouths. There are a bunch of
That's-
cottonmouths growing around there.
Don't
That's-
don't leave your hot dogs out. The gator's gonna come get it.
That just looks like a boring track to
It's-
drive. Like
Summit,
drag strip corner.
Summit Point has deer. They have gators.
I
Yeah.
I
Drag
get
strip
from a
corner, drag
from a
strip.
topographical
corners.
standpoint, but an actual drag strip, if it is included as part of the track, if you've never
Terrible
if you've never had to do it, it's actually very exciting because you in this span of 12 feet, you'll get 9 different surfaces and they are extremely sensitive to weather.
And they're not using that as the road course. The road course, though, it just runs. It's like the access road for the drag strip. So it's really long, a U-turn.
It's a really long straight.
Oh, a little chicane. Oh, because we can. And then U-turn, S's. Long. That's a boring track.
Well, and this, like I said, I think Champ has been to like Daytona, but I think that's
they're
it in
always
Florida.
they go to Daytona
Yeah.
twice a year.
Yeah. So I guess
They
it's
must have
not
gotten
so
a
far.
bargain.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Good.
They're figuring, we're gonna be a Walmart warehouse. Screw it. Everybody can come.
So speaking of great tracks, WRL is going to be at VIR.
Excellent.
Very exciting. Go to a good track, get a good car count. 80 cars. We don't have the entry list, so we don't have no idea how many of them are BMWs and
I'm sure plenty of
Camaros.
them are.
A lot of Porsches. A lot of Porsches.
Mm.
Well, they still allow a lot of those factory hot rods, the Ginettas and those
Yeah.
Audi TS3s. And
If we had a fast car like I don't know, V8 swapped into some kind of Japanese
stop it.
supercar, we could do stuff like
We
that.
will.
Okay.
She will be back. Recent results.
Champ Car ran their 8 and 7 this weekend at Mid Ohio. The team Saline Ketchup Boxer took the podium with the Mustard Boxer less than 20 seconds back. 4 laps later, the R Bank Racing CRX rounded out the podium. Sunday, the Mustard Boxer edged the R Bank CRX by just over 1:45 with the boring of E30 of Team Troxel 4 laps behind.
Lemons held their High Plains Drifter Full 24. So the overall went to the overly complicated name of Colafab 27 Club, the bird in the boring BMW.
I wonder if that's like 3 teams kind of coming together.
I don't know. It's enough.
Whatever.
Class B went to the other team other options in a 91 Audi Coupe because of Colorado, and God's chosen class went to TGA, the Gant A-holes in a 90 Subaru Legacy because also Colorado.
That's misspelled, actually. It's the giant a-holes. I'm
Oh, sorry.
That's totally my fault.
It's very different than the Gant a-holes.
Yes.
I read the copy I'm given,
Yeah.
Nope,
Hey.
my fault. I own it.
Org choice was Skid Do in a Toyota Starlet. Judge's choice was the Colorado University Racing Team in an 01 Miata. Heroic Fix was Grumpy Cat in a 1950 Dodge pickup. That thing still is out there. It's amazing. Screwed was Savage Orchid Racing in a Ford ZX2. And the regional award was Beat the Pants Off an LS Swap BMW.
That's kind of awesome.
It is. Yep. Went to the newly reborn Our Lady of Perpetual Downforce Poor Decisions Formula None Racing Team in a 94 Civic.
I'm still glad they're rocking the Honda.
Well, it's a new Honda because
It's a new Honda. I mean, but they're
at
still
the,
a Honda team.
we were all at the Barber race when that one met its the original met its
Yes, we
unfortunate
were.
end. Yeah.
IOE went to Dirty Racers in a 91 S10. Shout out to everybody who races a truck. And if you were paying attention, that was Ian from the Apex Adjacent podcast. Congrats to y'all.
I mean, it's way better than a Maserati, you know.
They might beg to
91 S10.
differ, actually.
Yes, I know they would, but still.
Lucky Dog was at the Ridge. Now, this was a tournament style event, 5 races over the course of 2 days. Saturday opened up with a 6-hour enduro. Bad Dog won by 44 seconds over Giant Motorsport, and U-Boot Renworks was a lap behind.
This is an awesome way to do a whole weekend race. Then came the 2-hour sunset race at the end. 6 cars were on the lead lap at the checker. It was Team B and they were 42 seconds over Bad Dog, who in turn was just 15 seconds over U-Boot Renworks.
So Sunday started with a 2.5-hour race. U-Boot was 15 seconds over Bad Dog. M80 was third, 90 seconds back. A quick 20 minutes later, after the 2.5-hour race ended, a 1.5 port 3. Wait, what is this?
A 1.5 points. So all of your positions, you got 1.5 times your point standings.
Got it. And it was a half-hour race?
3.5 hours.
Oh, 3.5. Okay. I couldn't figure out where the commas were. Is it 1.53 or is it half? Yes. 3.5 hour race.
Points, 3.5 hour.
3.5 hour race. There we go. Commas are helpful. And that was won by Giant Motorsports, 90 seconds over U-Boot. And Groot, a new podium finisher, was 1 lap down.
Final race, 1-hour sprint. Tire Dogs just 5 seconds over U-Boot. Giant Motorsports took the bronze.
Cool.
It'd be tough to decide
who
gets to
drives when.
drive
That's
the
exactly
sprint
what I was thinking.
races and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's a tough one.
And especially if some of them count different points, I think it brings a lot of strategy.
It's just an interesting way to break up a weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's time for
Listener feedback time.
all right. Erling commented on our 200th episode and a message he had sent a while back. And he pointed this out. He's right. We totally missed this. The point of the Honda being called the Jazz is because in Sweden, the Fit was going to be called the Fitta, which in Swedish translates to a very pejorative term for a lady's tickle bits, or another name for a cat here in the United States, which to me,
OPP, you down with OPP?
which to me makes Chris's suggestion of the 80s jazzercise and leg warmers theme that much funnier.
Yeah, I totally. Okay, so just so everyone knows, the only one who reads the messages to all of our social media is Mental, because when I get there, they're all like red already and they're like at the bottom. Sometimes I see them, sometimes I don't. So sorry, Erling, I totally missed that article and was just absolutely guessing on the spot what it was about.
I still like my theme.
It's a great.
I
it's
stand
even
by my
better.
decision.
Yes.
Great team.
Okay. Regarding our t-shirt game from the fifth host, Eric Rude, Al Jones said, I've been playing the car make model t-shirt Google game for the last hour and the results are amazing. My favorite one so far had a picture of Darth Vader and said, come to the dark side. We drive Nissan Sentras.
Yo, you know who needs that?
You know.
Sasha, where are you? Get that shirt now.
I know where
Also-
Sasha is. He's fixing the plane.
Oh,
Oh, good. You do know that.
Oh, that'll work. It's going to have more roof than before. It'll be fine.
He's
Or
been
it'll
good.
have no roof.
He's
Well,
actually
he's
been
good.
really good. I got to say.
Also on our 200th episode, IOE winner Ian from Apex Adjacent said, congrats on the 200th episode. This was fun.
yeah, was he there live?
No,
I don't remember
think
seeing
I think
him
he
live.
watched it
He
afterwards.
must have
or
watched it
listened to
afterwards. Our buddies from the We Like the Tuna Here Now Hack Factory Racing, Brian and Company, said, congrats on 200 plus 7. Numbers are hard. I wish I could have made it live. I was listening in the car and had to come to the YouTube just to see the Rolls-Royce interior and confirm the epic eye roll that could
There
be
you go.
heard from Jackie talking about Dean's multi-use cup, which was still fantastic. He was not disappointed in either front. Also checked out the late, I'm saying this, so that was what Ryan and Hack Factory said. Also check out the latest YouTube from Lemons, because We Like the Tuna gets a shout out for auctioning off, that is in brackets, quotes there, their Supra, also in quotes.
And Tim Burke said, congrats on 200 plus, very entertaining show. Maybe next live show could be recorded at a race on Saturday night. Might make for an interesting input to the crowd. See you at Button Willow. Yeah, Tim, we've tried that.
And
And
they
we
were
don't do it
fun.
anymore. Yeah.
You know why? Because the equipment is too hard to haul around.
Also, usually Saturday night, we're fixing stuff. And then by the
Yes.
time we're done fixing stuff, we're a good several drinks in and it's really late. And we just want to stop and get in the hot tub and talk with our friends.
And then we have
Not-
to like find enough Wi-Fi to upload it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So great.
We should
input.
do it for a special occasion. Like, well, and Mental
Like-
hasn't been
like-
with us
Like Button Willow.
like Button Willow.
Oh,
Sure.
no one's going to be sober enough to do anything. at Button Willow.
Oh, we're doing stuff at Button Willow, but yeah.
Yeah. They're not the things you need to be sober to do. That's going to be who draws the short straw on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. Who has to start? I don't want to
Oh
start.
boy.
I don't
Just
think
go ahead.
there's
I'm
enough
going to
people
warn
in the
every
Porsche.
lemons driver out there. Saturday and Sunday morning, because we're getting there Thursday. If you come to the penalty box, you're going to want that car turned off, because my head's not going to be in a good place.
Yep.
All
All
right.
right. I got some private feedback from a local military buddy who listened to the Kyle Smith episode, and he said, quote, I don't need to know there's a bachelor's program for auto restoration. I still have GI Bill left. Thank goodness it's not local.
Yeah, thank goodness. I suck at racing time. What do we got?
Hey, 90 minutes at Summit Point, but the grill was filled to 60 cars with random AI robots, including Darth Vader, Jim Halbert, Paul Newman, driving Skippy's, V's, and Formula Fords. Scott Santiago wins the Blade Runner trophy for holding back 6 AIs at a time. First across was Matt Sitka, but number 21 was our pre-selected winner. Apparently that was a poor choice because that was Dwight Schrute.
Is that the Blade Runner trophy or the what was the Will Smith movie where he fought all the AI robots? Was that iRobot? I think it's the
iRobot.
iRobot.
It's called iRobot.
It's not
yeah.
called iRobot. It's an Asimov.
About
Isaac
Asimov,
Asimov.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All
And
these-
he
all
like
these little sweeping vacuums bumping your ankles. Damn it.
exactly. No.
It was Santiago figured out pretty early on that a lot of the AIs are very risk averse, and we put Bearded Simulation Productions. Check it out on YouTube. He had the camera on underneath the back of Santiago's car, and you just see him just blatantly, and they would go to dive bomb and no. And he would work his way through the crowd with all 6 of them scared to pass him. It was fantastic.
Well, now that my room is coming back to my office is coming back together, maybe I'll be able to return to the iRacing world. But I missed Monday's event again, but you were all at Monza. The first race had the old oval with a variety of NASCARs and Indy cars. David Bryan won the first race. Second race was full course in the old oval, no chicanes. And Tom Lamino won that race. Basically, we do what we want. And when Lemons is going to do trash racing, so you never know what you're going to get. And sometimes we don't put a whole lot of forethought to it. It's just like, yeah, that sounds great. So there it was.
Exactly what Chris did.
Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We do have a Discord link. We have a password to get in, so we don't get random AI killing robots in. We just want
13-year-olds
actual
who drive
humans
backwards.
yeah, exactly. We just want people we know.
Yeah, if anybody's driving backwards, we only allow that to be Tom and Dave.
Yep. You know who never drives backwards if she can help it?
Doesn't she have to
Sometimes.
pull out of the driveway?
Yeah. Aside from
Yeah.
that, that's it. If she can help it.
Yeah.
She doesn't go counter to traffic.
Okay.
Chrissy's mom.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Hi, Chrissy's mom. She's probably listening because they're on a long road trip and I'm sure they've gotten their fair share of podcasting.
Especially
very
because
good.
Snowflake has no radio antenna
It's
because we
true.
still haven't fixed that since Meltle broke it off in the driveway. So podcasts are the way to go.
In my defense, it was still my truck when I broke the radio antenna off.
Sure.
Good call. Good call.
It's
I like
not
it.
like I went over and went, Chrissy's mom. Snap.
Take that.
That's hilarious. So we have kind of a sketchy main topic here. We're
It's
not
main
talking...
topic time.
Oh, sorry. Main
I don't
topic
think
time.
it's not sketchy.
No, it's not sketchy. It's there's no single topic.
Sketchy.
Is there a single topic? It's everyone has a story to tell.
Except me. I don't have any stories.
Oh.
I've been working on the car. And
All right.
so someone's got to do it. No, you don't have a story either, Jeff, do you?
I do. I have a little story.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Who's
Great.
going to start and tell their story first? Here's the problem.
We got two
Chrissy's-
big topics here.
Chrissy's story is awesome. So if we go to Chrissy's story first, we're all going to
Everyone's
sound
done.
like,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
not interesting
yeah.
anymore.
No.
So let's really quick do our story so we can get to the good ones. Go ahead.
All right. So I initially was on the hook to work the Lemons race this weekend. So I did not get to participate in the local SODI karting league. SODI provides rental carts. They're also a big competitive kart thing, and they have a global league with rental carts. Check them out. SODI World Series. They're not giving me a dime. It's just a lot of fun. They are hooked in with the local Las Vegas supercars. That also has a really good go-kart track. You can see that video. It's actually our most popular video on the E1R channel. And they've had some enduros. One of them was a 6-hour one in July. Nobody wanted to do it, so that one got canceled, but they've had some other ones coming up. This was a last-minute effort, a 2-hour enduro karting. Me and a very talented young kid named Ben, we put together a team at the last minute. We went. He was a full second faster than me because he is 40 pounds lighter than me. And they do require ballast in the carts. But when they looked at us, they went, well, Fatty there kind of balances out the kid. So they didn't add any ballast to him.
Fatty.
So we went out there and threw down. We had,
This is what I say to your fatty.
He had the fastest time of the week during qualifying, and we were with 1 second. We led for the first good hour of the race, and then it caught up to us. We had a flawed pit strategy to put him in at the end of it because he was faster than I was, but that added one stop, which added 2 minutes to our time. So in the end, we finished fourth. But we've got Alex. He works on a go-kart track. There's probably a go-kart track next to you. If not, you've got the Andretti karting and pole position. There's some chains that do electric kartings. Almost all of those have a league night. You want a cheap way to go out and just have good fun racing? Find the local go-kart league. It's just so much fun. And it's really helping me get a lot more aggressive than I used to be, because I was being an endurance guy. I'm like, I'll wait. But my endurance skills came in on this one because I was just as fast at the end of the day as I was at the beginning. And not everyone could say that.
Nice. Do you want to do Vegas Auto Fest? Or you
Sure.
want me to talk about
We
something?
talked about it. Vegas Auto Fest. Check us out online. #VegasAF. Yeah, that's real. It's going to be well over 300 cars, all kinds of stuff. John Polnick, the guys from Bid Nerds and Fasnization are going to be out there. If you're anywhere near, come on out. If not, check out our social media, our live feeds. I'm going to be there starting at 4:30 in the morning on Saturday, which is 7:30 you guys' time. I'll be taking cool pictures of cars. And then once we get everything parked and set up, because it's at the country club, I'll be at the bar. So there'll be pictures through the window looking at the cars, because I'm not leaving that bar on that one. But again, just staying in tune with the good car scene. Vegas is surprisingly good down here. We're going to have some representatives from the local Spring Mountain track and Pahrump and some other great stuff. Get your
Nice.
guys custom bracelets.
A quick question on your karting. What kind of carts are they? Gas, electric, etc.?
SODI carts are gas. These are full of,
Okay.
they're basically, they're their customer carts with the wraparound plastic banding around the wheels for contact that you won't have on when you're doing, when you buy a customer, racing cart.
Can you spell SODI carts?
SODI.
Okay.
And
I was
yeah.
like trying to figure it out. Is Mental got some sort of Southern pronunciation going, or is there like
Fair.
SODI?
They are
SODI,
wanting,
got it.
they do this. They have a sprint league and an endurance league, both of which you collect points on a global scale, and the top 20 get invited to Dubai to compete at the Dubai Aerodome
Wow.
for the
That's kinda
Saudi
crazy.
World Yeah, which, by the way, I've totally driven the go-kart track in Dubai, not
I'm
because I
sure
was
you have.
invited, but because I was there and I paid money and raced. But when I did it 8 years ago, I did have the fastest time of the week.
Oh,
There you go. Saudi
there you
car.
go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's basically, it's the ones on the right. Those are the ones we're
The
they
rentals.
yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Looks
Cool.
like a cart.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
And if
Thanks.
anybody's interested, in November, they'll be doing a 12-hour enduro. And I would love for a bunch of old heads to come out here and teach these young punks some respect. Because
Yeah, I don't
they'll
think we're
be
gonna keep
they'll
up
be
with that.
faster than us.
I need a
think for the
nap in the
first-
middle
I
there.
was gonna say, I think I'm 40 pounds heavier than you, so that would be 80 pounds heavier than that kid. So
Yes, but if they're one,
Yes,
the
but-
minimum weight is 180. So if they can't do it, a couple of the teams had to carry ballast. What I'm betting is that a 12-hour enduro, they will fall apart. They are not.
Yeah.
I think, like Levison, if you're listening, some guys like that. Yeah, come on out here. I think you get 3 experienced old heads, and we will adhere to the adage that old age and treachery always overcomes youthful enthusiasm.
what do I get for 35 to 40 pounds over the minimum? That's what I want to know.
You
Nothing.
have to
Fat
you
bag
have-
of scratch.
you get handed the bicicle the morning of, and you have to bicycle to the track. Let's just take the
I'm not
Mercedes.
making it. All right. I don't know what I should say about the next thing on my list. Have we inked the deal? Can we
We
say
have not,
officially?
but no, screw it. We're gonna figure it out.
We're-
Talk about it.
Okay, we are exploring a partnership with a company that many of you know called Racing Junk, and we hope to be talking in the future about some crossover stuff. We might be able to do some live shows at places like PRI if the show happens. I mean, we're going to PRA anyway, but it would be great to partner with them. I'm very excited. I know when Mental and I were talking to them, we love the product. I mean, it's a great place to go buy your next toter home, or
Or
to
if you're
sell
looking for
your Lemons
specific
car,
parts,
or-
they sell Lemons cars on there.
Yeah.
Something else.
They're really trying to do a lot more in the road racing, sedan kind of market, and road car market. I shouldn't say sedan. And so they're asking us to come on board, and we're probably going to do it. As soon as we figure out the details, we'll give you more. But I'm excited because we get to talk to all of their partners, and one of them is Seekonk Raceway. Speaking of YouTube channels, one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is the spectator tracks at Seekonk Raceway, which
They're
is
so terrible.
they're terrible, right? That's up in like near Boston somewhere, isn't
It's
it?
in Rhode Island.
It's
Little
roadie,
roadie.
yeah. Ooh.
Oh, great.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's a little bull ring, like a little oval track or circle track, whatever, and it's paved, not dirt. And they have a run what you brung, one lap, head to head. I wouldn't call it drag racing, although they call it spectator drags. Yeah, and people are out there in like their mom's Camaro, and they try and beat each other in one lap. And
I've never
They
heard of
usually-
this.
They
Oh, it's
oftentimes hit
hilarious.
each other. Like it's,
yes,
it
and they're
is
not
r-
supposed to hit each other.
oh.
There's definitely not like, I'm going to hit that guy because I'm going to lose. It's like, I can't go around the track once without
I think
hitting
it's
the
also
wall.
there's definitely some aggro redneckery at its finest.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
What
and
does
there's always-
Rhode Island road neckery look like?
it's great.
Yeah.
So
it looks very
it's-
southern, just a lot more chowder.
They're wicked
Yeah.
fucking pissed, huh?
Wicked-
That's what it
wicked
sounds
pissed.
like.
yeah. And my wicked WRX is going to take your Camaro to pieces,
Uh-huh.
I had to bring my sister's Cavalier because my my WRX blew the turbos again.
There's a lot of donuts done after they win. We'll just say that. So anyway,
Oh,
we're
my.
looking to partner with Racing Junk. If anyone has any discussion out there about Racing Junk, if you sold anything, if you bought anything, hit us up. We're going to be talking about them every now and then.
Or if there's something you want to see on there, because ideally we're going to be working and providing them with some content and some articles and some videos, and people on that Racing Junk side of their partners you want to see on the show, let us know.
Yeah.
We're here. We're in those negotiations because of you. So we're here. But
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool giveaways on Racing Junk. I didn't realize that until we started actually
love that
watching
stuff.
them. So yeah, exciting.
So we're here because of you. So that means we're here for you.
Is that
Yeah.
how it works?
Should I keep going or should we go to Chrissy next? I got one little short thing. I do
Go
want to
for it.
talk a little bit about the ceramic coating that I put on the Veloster. I will not give them a shout out because I have no idea what company it was at the time, but I bought it off of Amazon and I read the reviews.
Oh, wasn't from Wish. No,
It wasn't from Wish. It wasn't from Wish.
That's a different kind of coating, and it's very shiny but sticky.
So that you get a little glass jar, and you get like the little pad, and you get the little applicator things, and and it comes with a microfiber, and you put it on and polish it off, and
clearly does not require a whole lot of knowledge of the terms or very specific concepts
or much effort.
all of the
Specialized
above.
tools of any kind. Yes.
All of the above. I
Knowledge of detailing.
I watched several YouTube videos about how to do it.
Cats.
And
Oh,
it
no.
looked no on how to ceramic coat your car, and it was pretty easy. And I will say that, as silly as it sounds, for $55 for the kit, the water is sheeting off my car like you would not believe. I have no idea if it's going to be the preferred, I would like it to be cleaner and clean easier in the future. Time will tell on that, but the hydrophobic capacities are incredible right now. I live
let's see how it lasts. That's the
that's
key.
the important
especially
part,
through a Jersey winter. That
Yeah.
I am genuinely interested in that. Yeah.
Like our NSX has a ceramic coat from the detailer when it got detailed in November, and it got washed for the wet. It really got wet for the second time since then when Chrissy washed it recently.
It was glorious.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'll say that, like, I live in Jersey and there's like 100% humidity at all times here. So every day when I get up, because it's September, it's got a lot of dew on it. And that first acceleration of the day and the car is dry because it like rains off the back window. So yeah,
Which just encourages you to do what a Veloster in is.
I got a quick around the horn. Never mind. We'll get to that later. Chrissy, why don't you tell your much cooler story? If anyone has any input, before we go to Chrissy, on ceramic coatings, or should I do it better, or did I waste my money and my time and my afternoon? Shout me out.
Or
We'll
good
talk about it.
DIY ceramic coating product or process that you've used.
Ooh, there we go.
Mhm.
I
Be
like
interested
it.
in that.
Or if you're in that industry, come on the show, talk to us.
Hey, probably when we get our partnership, we'll know people.
it'd be great if we knew people.
Speaking of knowing people, though, Chrissy had the best week of everybody.
Yeah.
It was just a day. But I suppose, yes. I mean, I got to drive cars that you guys didn't. So there's that. Okay.
Little jealous. Totes
Little.
jelly.
Just a
Lot
little.
jealous, totally
Okay.
lots jealous.
Good. Okay, let's start this off. So Monday morning, bright and crazy early, I hopped in my NSX with my helmet and drove my butt to New Jersey Motorsports Park. So I drove 2 hours to get to New Jersey through Philadelphia, which fortunately wasn't the worst drive ever, but I also was a little frantic on getting there on time. Plus, I also needed gas, which I had not planned on. So anyway, got there on time, no problem. Decided to take the NSX first because we never drive anything else anywhere, but also because when you go to a ladies Porsche driving event, which is what I went to, it's not a bad thing to pull up in your NSX. So pulled up. This is at Lightning. So hopefully
It's such a baller move.
what? Driving the
Pull it
NSX.
up in your NSX. It's like, yeah, don't worry, I'm not impressed.
Especially if you roll up in a stick shift NSX and like all the instructors like, oh, thank God, that's one we don't have to worry about.
Oh
We'll
no!
survive
No,
this one.
hold on. I'll tell you about that. The instructor. I made immediate friends. Just let me tell you. So, because of the car. I mean, because of the car, not because of who I am and who I talk to. So anyway, so I actually, so this is a
Chrissy, put on the baller glasses.
no, because then you can't see my eyes. I had them on earlier.
Deal with it.
I had them on when I rolled up into the New Jersey Motorsports Park and in my NSX. So first of all, love the NSX. Driving it is glorious. Such a joy to drive.
So choice. if you
It's
have the
so
means.
choice. It's so nice. Although I did get in there was an accident on the road when I was driving to the track. Of course, that holds me up. I'm already frantic about being there on time. And I have to clutch. And I'm like, oh, just clutching is the worst because I never drive anywhere at all, anywhere. So
Yeah,
that
not
was
because you don't drive stick every day. You just don't go anywhere anymore.
no,
I'll say, but
no.
also because where's my radar guided cruise control? Why am I having
all of
to
these things, all of
steer?
these
What?
things, right? It's not because I don't like driving the car. It's just that I don't drive stick every day. So that's my leg is not used to it. So it's a little out of it. Anyway, pull up in my NSX. It's fantastic. So first of all, this is a ladies Porsche event sponsored by the local Porsche dealer to New Jersey's is Cherry Hill, New Jersey. And it is a ladies bring your friend event. So
I'm your friend.
well, it's a ladies Porsche driving event.
Bring your
Bring your friend.
Jeff can identify however he needs to drive.
I
a Porsche.
suppose yes. So I could
I
have.
identify
go
as a
on.
Porsche file.
I didn't mean to derail. Yeah.
No, it's fine. But everybody who arrives with their lady friends is what I'm getting at. So everybody's other lady friend pulls up in some kind of Merca, Porsche, BMW, whatever, because that's what the whole parking lot is. And I'm just standing there with my helmet looking cool because I'm like, I don't have any friends. It's just me.
How did you get invited to this event?
Well, let's get to. I'm going to get to that later because that's a second part of this conversation, right? So, well, I guess I got invited because I know a lady. So you're the lady who organized the road rally that I went on that I didn't go to New Hampshire.
Yes.
She sent the invite. So that's where but she also runs and is very close to organizing the Porsche Club of Philadelphia and whereabouts. So she has ins is what I'm getting at.
And she remembers there was this baller when we did that. Rally.
Remembers Chrissy helped organize, didn't you?
That's
Yeah.
true. Yes, I did. And she knows I'm into cars and it's a track event. And she also sent it to like 10 other people. So it's not just me.
And she's like, well, this one actually is one at that track. So yeah.
Whatever. I didn't win at this track.
We won a Connecticut.
Yes.
All right.
That's fine. Anyway.
I mean,
details.
we've done IOEs and things at church. Anyway,
like,
keep going.
I had to
Just keep
think.
talking
I'm
about
sorry.
Porsches.
Got
Don't ignore mental.
Okay.
He's inconsequential.
No, I'm just was making sure that I didn't win at this track. But anyway, so I roll up, I sign in, and they put me as single. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm single. That's fine.
Because you didn't bring a friend.
Because I didn't bring a friend. But there were
Because there's only
skiing.
two. Yeah.
It's the best way to get faster up the hill is to any singles? Yeah.
And also
And
there's
Disney
only
rides.
there's only two seats in the car, and
Sure.
your helmet had to have a place to go.
No, that's not how this works. So, so you have to find a friend. So I was put with a friend, which is fine because Jennifer, who's listening to this podcast now, is now my BFF. So, because she also arrived in her 911 black on black. Yes, right. Beautiful,
actually,
beautiful
Jennifer,
Porsche.
we're all friends with you now. You
Right,
don't know
right.
that. And I'm
Yes.
sorry, but yeah.
Yes. So she arrived as a single as well. And so so we became friends. So we get a bracelet. We take a picture, get a bracelet. You're one of several different colors and you become a group. There are 3 groups of 8. So this is a pretty small event, which is wonderful. And there was not all said and done, not a whole lot of selling. There was not a whole lot of you should buy this car because it was more of like, let's learn how to drive around the track, which is fantastic. So, and I'm going to share. So now that I gave you some background of it, I'm going to share some pictures because there was a photographer there who I attached onto because Mental had suggested that I do. She was just taking pictures, but she took a whole bunch of pictures of me. So I will share my screen. Sorry if you are listening to the podcast, I will explain what's going on, but just so you but for
Guards red 911.
Hello. I
Big
believe
wheels.
that color is called Hello Officer Red.
I don't know, but okay. So there's 3 different stations. I started my station in the Carrera 4S, and so there are 4 cars, 2 people in each car. So basically, if you came with your friend, they were in the car with you. This is all lead follow. So somebody is in the front. There's a gentleman in the front. There are radios in all 4 cars, and the gentleman in the front will talk to you and you don't talk back. They just tell you what's going on. Unfortunately, I started it since this is the first time that most people are on track.
Oh.
So I get in the car and I'm, of course, if you can see this picture, I am the fourth car, thinking that, okay, I can hold back. But of course, the guy in the front thinks that everybody is a novice and has no idea what they're doing. So he waits for everybody, sandwiches up. You have to be 2 cars lengths ahead of between each other. So I did not get to drive this car in anger, or even like sadness or something. Like I didn't even get to drive it fast.
It's still really pretty.
But I got to drive it. So that's all that matters. So of course, oh, hold on, it's not working. There we go. Okay. So here is my new friend, Jennifer. And so she also has track experience. So so not like actual wheel to wheel racing, but she's done a couple track days. She knows lines. She also had to center me at some point because I was just like, why are you not going fast enough? And she's like, most of these people have never been on track before. So I actually just had a great time. Then we switched cars. So there was the 2 cars, the front 2 cars switched, the back 2 cars switched. It doesn't matter.
This one better.
They're the same exact car. They're just different colors because they said, well, some people said, well, I like the red one drives better or something. So that's why they just let us switch.
That is a, I would not expect that to be as pretty of a color as it is.
Oh,
Is that a green?
It is light. It is gray green. Of course, I'm sorry, I don't know the colors of all of these cars. Oh, hold on, I missed the squatting picture. This is a new kind of picture. She was trying this version out. I'm squatting next to the car. Looks pretty good. Either way. So a gray green color. This is when we switched. So basically, what we did on the track day is that we would drive around. We did 3 laps, and then you would switch, and then you'd be the passenger for 3 laps. And then we switched cars. We would do 3 laps. You switch and you be the passenger and you do 3 laps. And then you've been done with that session. So it's great. You have a good time. It's supposed to be, with your friend. I'm having a great time with my new friend, Jennifer. And but like I said, we weren't able to push it at all much because in the first session, most of the people are just trying to learn how to drive around the track. The person that is the lead is telling you about, here is track out. Okay, now you're like, make sure your eyes are up. Here's your track in, apex, track out. Okay, make sure you're turning out. Okay, you won't even need to break through this corner because you shouldn't be going fast enough. And I'm like, oh God, like I just want to go faster, like even a little faster.
Start being more assertive, because I bet if you'd have been the first car out, he'd have been like, so here's the okay, no, all right, we're going.
It's still lead follow, but it wasn't, because there's always that one person that was just like, oh my gosh, turn 5, I can't see. Oh, there it is. It's okay. Right. Turn 5 at lightning, right? So you can't actually see over the hill. So, fortunately on the track, they put a whole bunch of gates. So they have cones that tell you that, when you're going into turn 5, you can't use all of the track. They tell you here is the spots that you're allowed to go, and to make it so that that you're going to make it through the corner, and it's going to put you in the right spot. Because if you're out too close to the grass and you don't realize where the track goes, you have to remember that you're literally first day of going on a racetrack, which is very hard for all of us. But that's what a lot of these people are experiencing.
Okay. So I looked this up before. I believe this is Dolomite silver metallic.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't buy it
because it's not the Adventure Teen green. That's greener than this.
Sure.
I'm only saying that because I know that this is going to rile up the Porsche people, and they're going to be like, Jeff is all wrong. I'm typing in the notes in a very angry way.
Those Porsche people don't listen to this show.
It's probably very true. Nope. Okay. So here's a picture of me and Jennifer in the car. So there's what it looks like. So they have somebody in front, the lead follow, the instructor is in a picture that you can't see. And then there's the fork Porsches right behind it. So this is how we did our laps on track. So fine. We had a good time. It revs. We were in sport. We could go into sport plus. They were all automatic PTKs. So PTKs. And so we weren't shifting. No surprise there at all. But
I do love that in this photo is because this is the one where you're in the red car, because everyone else has got the loaner open face helmet. Then in the back, the racers.
Oh yeah.
You and Jennifer, you could see it all the way in the back.
Yeah, good. I wasn't sure which cars we were in, but it's still so cool looking pictures. Porsches on
Yes.
track. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then when we get out of there, we go right to the Taycan. I had the worst time. I definitely said Taycan a bunch of times, and I was like, I mean, the Taycan, because I kept calling it the wrong thing because that's what I do. But anyway, we get in the Taycan, and it is on an autocross course. So, so before we get in it, a gentleman who's very excited about the car tells you all the cool things about the car. It is technical but interesting, and he's obviously very excited about it. So it was a sales pitch, but I wanted to learn about it because the car is so cool. So anyway, so you were in the island. What did you call that before, Chris? The big part of the blacktop. You had a name
Black
for it.
Lake.
Black Lake, the Black Lake. So that's where the autocross was. They made an autocross. You can see this in the back of the picture that I'm showing right now. It is a wide version. There's plenty of room, but there's plenty of cones, but plenty of places to push the car and get it to turn, get it to go straight. And I laughed the whole time. It was fantastic. So
full electrics are silly, aren't they?
So it is.
Have you driven a full electric before?
No.
I'm telling you, I'm a convert since test driving the Tesla.
Me too. I would have walked away with this car, and I don't even know what the price tag is, but I'm like,
gazillions.
I know it's gazillions. It is so awesome. It's so awesome. So the car,
I really think it's pretty too. I gotta say, with the only one we've ever seen was a very early one, I think at the Philadelphia show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
and
new.
I don't remember it looking this good.
I
You said this is
agree.
like a wide body. Maybe that's the difference.
I don't
No.
think so.
Normal. That's normal.
No, the only thing that makes these two cars different than when they pull in the blue one, this one has the engine noises, which I think makes it. So the other,
The fake engine noises.
I think it's great. Yeah.
Huh.
Well, yes. And I'm only going on an autocross track. I'm not going very fast.
But you are very much a purist. That's high praise coming from you.
I like that I could hear it. Yeah, I liked it.
But so even knowing that it was synthetic, you said that makes it. That is that. Wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm comparing. I think it's awesome either way. I will take it. If the engine noises are too expensive, I will put it back. But I mean, it's
You just
pretty.
need the Sport Turismo version, though. That would be.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. So
wagon.
I thought this car was amazing. I could not get over how awesome it was. So I took it around and I was pushing. So there was this lead follow again, and there was somebody in a car in front of me, and they were telling me, make sure that you're hard brake here, and here's where you're turning. Okay, we're going to turn left here, and kind of not exactly taking you through every turn, but trying to give you some pointers on how to make it go faster. Because again, we have to remember that I am one of 24 normal women who may
all have to drive the same car on the same track. So
also, but may not have any driving experience other than going to Walmart. So this is not necessarily an all
Porsches. They're
enthusiast.
going somewhere better than that. So
Yeah, but this is basically extreme experience. As far as is if you're an instructor, there is a wide scope of skill level. There's, I didn't even know how to drive here to, you at the far end of that spectrum. So
Right. Yeah. So I get in it and I start automatically. I don't even let it get up to speed. I'm in full speed, full stop into the first corner. So I'm already pushing the instructor, and then I'm like 4 corners and he's like, oh, okay, let's speed it up here. Then he's like, all right, turn the corner here. He's like, this is full straight, let's go. So I push him.
Hopefully he said, let's go.
Well, I don't think I think he was
not.
trying to be nicer than that. But I giggled the whole time. I was like, I got out and I was like, this is amazing. So I get out and we do the same thing. We do the lead follow, but we have so Jennifer gets in the driver's seat. She starts doing. She's doing a great job. But at least once We both took out a cone at different times because there's a
All
lot
right,
of cones.
those fenders don't cost that much.
It's hey, you set up the cones, you expect somebody to push through them because there's
Seriously.
cones.
Yeah, and
So-
if you're not popping a cone,
Right.
you're not
You're not trying.
Right. So we pop a cone. And so I've realized that Jennifer is still not finishing her braking into the corner. So she's still braking through the corner, but she's pushing too wide and kind of getting out of control a little bit. So I ask her if she wants some feedback. And so I give her some feedback and I tell her, finish your braking before you get to the end and then get on the gas. And so then next time I go around, I tell her what I'm doing. And she was like, and it really helped. And then she did it the next time, which was awesome. So I didn't mean to be an instructor in this game, but I just thought, a couple little things that can change your driving experience. So that's what I did. So we giggled the whole time. I giggled as a passenger. That's how much fun I had. So this was awesome. I Taycan soapbox because.
And we talked about this before we started recording.
Yes, we did.
But you posted this picture up, and we got some listener / former guest feedback on that. And the instructor in front of you saw the shirt and saw the helmet and went, "Oh, all right, I'm gonna have to earn it." And then we find out later that instructor, Patrick Willman, former guest.
Yes. So I didn't ever see him. I talked to him on the radio, or I listened to him on the radio because I'm not talking to anybody. Like this is just radio chatter that is just, they're talking at us in the car. And so I never saw him because as soon as you can see in this picture, he is driving with the other car. By the time that other car comes in, I'm already in the driver's seat getting ready to go out and into the next run. So if I saw him get out, I didn't see him much. But of course, in this experience, there's plenty of Porsche experience people walking around, asking how you're doing and all that good stuff. So yes, I'm sorry, Patrick, that I missed you. And small world.
That's funny because we've all done this. I mean, we've already had Dave Mills here. Like, I partied with Dave Mills at an entire race and we never shared each other's last name. And it took us a year to figure out we've known each other since Cub Scouts. So it's not that weird that a guy we had on the podcast you never met in Beat Space, you didn't really figure out.
No, but small world still.
It's still cool.
Yes, totally. Okay. So Taycan, buy one if you can afford it because it's amazeballs. Okay. So I moved back onto the track. So our third rotation is back onto the track.
She's in the truck.
So
Now,
we are.
Does this or does this not rhyme with the car you just drove?
It's the
Macan.
Is it a
It's the
Macan?
It's
Is it
the
a Macan?
Well, it's the Macan.
Macan.
But of course,
Is
I
it-
walk around and say it's a
So
Macan.
is it a Taycan or a Taycan?
It's a Taycan.
Taycan?
I phonetically spelled it in my notes. It's a Taycan, but I say Taycan.
Porsche, just go back to
Because-
numbers.
It sounds better than Taycan.
It's a, right.
Yeah.
A Taycan, and then
Taycan.
I would say something about the Macan, and then I'd be like, I mean the Macan.
Macan.
Okay, so again, we get back onto the track. We've got two people, back with our teams where, you would start in the Macan and you would switch the Panamera, which is the car behind it. So, two of us are in Macans, two of us are in Taycan, Panameras. So we get on track. We start in the Panamera, which is not this picture. And we both drive, and of course, side note, Chris and I drove the Panamera as a test drive before we bought the Merc. So the Panamera was fine in the grand scheme of
Everything else you drove that day.
yes, it was fine. It was lovely. It was we figured it'd be nice on the highway. It was, it had enough pep, but it was just fine. And so we were not, both of us were not impressed. And of course, just got out of the Taycan, which is like, I'm at 11 here. So I get into a Panamera and I'm just like on track. Right. It's okay. So then we get into the Macan. And so we're watching the
question. Did Jennifer laugh at your Macan and Taycan jokes?
we have helmets on, so I don't know that she heard me say it so much.
Okay.
If anything, I just would say it and I would laugh at myself, say like, dude, don't say that because that's not right. That's not how you say it. So we were in the Panameras, and then we were watching the people in the Macan. I'm sorry. And so we were watching them, and we were like, that's got to be a handful to get to push that car on track. I'm sure it's going to be great, but we're watching the kind of body roll, and we're in this beautiful low set car that just kind of floats on top of everything. How's this going to be? We get into the Macan, and it's hilarious, and it does pretty well, but it's such a different experience driving the Macan on track, trying to get it over the corners. If you're taking the rumble strips, you're trying to, take the corners of lightning as quick as you can. And we were, so by this time we had lost some of our team of the people that were in the cars. So we were, because,
where did they go?
So a woman, so there was a woman and a man, right? So you could bring men, and it didn't say that, but
Somebody man down. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Right. So is Chris. Hello.
How are you going to take husband 1 or husband 2?
Well, I thought it would bring husband 1, but I didn't bring husband 1 at all. So I'm probably not going to bring husband 2. But anyway, there was a gentleman who started driving
work every day for 3 weeks. So I can't.
I couldn't get the day off.
If I said you could drive Porsches on the racetrack,
I would have found it.
I'm sure you would have.
Got the Rona, not coming in.
Anal glaucoma.
So there was a gentleman who I guess his wife, and a gentleman and wife. She was in the right seat. He went out. She got sick. So real easy. She was just like, she was throwing up. She's just like, I'm out.
In the Macan or in the
no,
the
Panamera? You know what? I don't know. No, this was early. This was in the Carreras, because this is the first round.
Oh, that's why they went home. And
they're gone. Right. So they missed everything else. So I didn't even say this I had extra time in the Taycan because it was available. All the people in our group were left, and they were like, yeah, I don't want to drive anymore. And
they missed the cherry on the fucking Sunday.
Well, they were like, hey, there's extra time. Do you want to get in? And I was like, yes. Yeah, put me in, coach. I'm in.
Yeah.
So
hey, we've got the extra time. Does anybody want to get in? And then there's the muffled sound of a door closing going, yes,
I'm already in.
Okay. No wonder Wilmot was in trouble, because the difference between run 1 on an autocross and run 3 on an autocross is light years.
Yes. And I was passenger too. So I was getting to know the corners and watching the corners, and she was doing pretty well in the corner. So I was watching what she was doing, calculating, figuring out the corner. Oh, also teaching her about autocross. Side note, because she didn't know anything about autocross, and I was like, "Here's what you do, and you stand in the corner and put all the cones back." Anyway, so we're in the Panamera, and then we get in the Macan, and then somebody else says, "I don't want." So I get in the Macan, and it's great. It was fun. It was different. I don't know that I want to buy one, but putting it on the racetrack was fun. So the person, go ahead.
I have to say, that's a pretty sexy looking truck.
Oh, yeah.
I never really gave the Macan or Macan or whatever that else any really second look, but I mean, it needs a little bit of lowering.
Sure.
But that lip spoiler and those wheels and the intakes, I'm kind of liking that. Everybody, if you're listening to this, go watch on the YouTube and check out.
Or at least just clip through it or something.
Or Google Macan.
No,
you
but
do that too.
One specifically as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The person in front of them is really good looking too. Anyway, I'm just kidding. So I get out, and then somebody else's partner was like, nope, it's my turn to drive, but I don't want to drive. So I leave, right? I leave Jennifer in her Macan, because she was supposed to be switching. I get in the other Macan and take another 3 laps. So I'm when we were in one of the Macans, I watched another one of the girls get sideways, catch it.
Yeah.
Right? So this is me getting out, and I'm just like, oh my God. So I go up and give her a high five. I was like, that was amazing. And the guys, the Porsche guys were like, shh, don't say that. Don't say this. And I was tickled. So the next time we went, the very last lap that we went out, we were pushing. We kept catching up to the Carrera group were in front of us. They were going slow, and we were catching up to them. And so
get your 911 out of the way. I got an SUV coming in.
That's basically because our pace was so good. We would let them go 3/4 around the track, and we would catch up to them every time. I mean, we were hauling.
SUV.
We were hauling,
awesome.
and we got out, and we were like, "Holy crap, that was awesome!" I mean, I'm saying our pace was freaking fantastic, and I wish I was in the Carrera doing this, but I was tickled. We got out, and we were like, it was a Panamera and 2 Maycans, and we were keeping up with the Carreras like no problem.
That's awesome.
I know nothing about these Maycans. What the hell is under the hood? They might know.
It's basically an Audi Q5, but with Porsche stuff on it. I think it's got a twin turbo V6 in these.
Yeah, I was
Depends on which one it is.
The GTSs, and it's got some good
like 400 horsepower. And
that'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm not going to buy any of these. I mean, Carrera, we find Taycan,
Taycan,
all over the place. I mean, so that's why it was a great experience. I mean, like I can't even get over how great it was. And we drove cars hard and fast, and we were on the racetrack with cars we don't own, and none of us rolled them, went off course, whatever. I keep going back to like the upsell there was no upsell. There was no minimal sales of you should buy these. And I'm like, what a fantastic experience. Okay. So I was talking to the owner, and that's me at the track. So I will stop sharing, check out the pictures because I had them. And so that was my experience. Any questions?
Totally jelly. I was jelly when I found out you were going to go.
Totes jelly.
Now I'm more jelly.
I know. Yeah, I know. And I came home, and I was like, I'm buzzing. I was like, I can't stop. So anyway, I get home. I have to drive in the NSX home. Oh, and they give us lunch. We went to the pub and ate lunch. So so it was great. So my bigger question to all y'all, because I am just gloating about how amazing time I had to drive all these Porsches. How do you get to do this is my question. I don't have an answer for you. I am trying to.
I have an answer.
Okay.
Okay, because Chrissy,
this is where mental math and makes stuff up, but it'll be good. Go ahead.
No, this is what we keep trying to tell you. A, Chrissy, you're smart. B, you're a hell of a driver. All right. C, people like having you around. So be a good, fun, smart, organized person that folks like having around. And then if you can drive, that's how these things happen.
Sure. Okay. That's not what I meant.
One addition. Fun, smart, good driver, professional.
This is very nice. I didn't, this turned into a flattering event that that's not what my initial ask was. My challenge is if you listener, you people, how do you find a Porsche driving event that isn't somebody that you know that organizes something that calls?
What you're asking is, I want more crack. Someone please put me on the list.
I want to give you the crack is what I want. Like I feel like I'm telling you how great of an experience I had. And I had a lady who said, hey, here's an event that you can go to. You can sign up and go if you're able. And I only found out about this, but it's not so like I didn't go to the Cherry Hill Porsche website to say, hey, are you having an event? When are you having this event? Can I go? So I'm trying, and I actually asked the lady, Maureen, who gave me the information. How do you find out more about these? When apparently this is a once a year event. They do have it once a year, but it's not something that there's no list that just says, here are the driving events that you can, there's no Subaru driving event that I know of. And so that's my problem of me giving my gloating fest of how great of a time I had. I want to give other people this opportunity. So I appreciate all of your very nice compliments. That's not where I was going with that comment. Both of you, I think, have comments on this.
You want me to go first, or am I meant to go first? Because I know where the list exists.
Okay.
The list exists in the potential purchaser of Porsches. And this is a marketing event that does not need to make a hard sell to be selling a Porsche, because what they're selling is these people have the right amount of money. These people have the right amount of attitude. And someday, maybe not today or maybe not tomorrow, they're going to buy a Porsche, and we need to put it in their brain and have a good time. And I guarantee the people who buy a 911 probably wouldn't buy a Macan, probably wouldn't buy a Taycan. So getting the potential Porsche people into both of those vehicles was probably very important to them. And it doesn't need to be a hard sell, because it's not a freaking Chevy that they have to sell you on, because it's actually a crappy car. They're amazing and they know it.
That was not the intent of this event, because it was actually trying to get women into sports cars to race. Or do something with a motorsport. Women into motorsports was this event. It was a Porsche event because because Maureen and group have a relationship with the Porsche dealer, because they are the Porsche people. They're Porsche people. It is not trying to get me to drive a car. It is trying to get me on track. And that's why they put them on track and taught me about the word apex. That's what was what the effort of this event was. So I agree with you, but that's there. The hard sell was not there because it was getting me on track.
That may have been Porsche's motivation for lending that group.
Well, Porsche has always been very supportive of inclusive efforts, especially regarding racetrack and driver's education, things like that. I don't know if this is specifically an answer, but in Los Angeles and Atlanta, they have the Porsche Experience Center, and for a small fee, you can have one of these things for 4 hours. They'll put you in all of them you want. They've got a kick plate. They'll teach you how to drift. They'll let you go around.
Wait, how much? Track. Where do I got to go?
Porsche Experience Center. Yeah, exactly. No, it's great. It's a great time. And we, all 4 of us, know many of their instructors.
They were there.
Folks.
It was all of them. They were like, we're from Atlanta. Anybody been to Atlanta? They said in the beginning, has anybody been to Barber?
I got $12 in a Starbucks card. Can I get that Taycan for a little bit?
Yeah.
You can watch.
Yeah.
Maybe that's $100 watch. So I'll throw that in.
So anyway, I guess my answer could be to that is HPDs. Get on track. That's a good place to do it, but it is the driving somebody else's car is the thing. Like it was awesome to be able to drive somebody else's car. The event was free. And so it was like, I showed up and drove somebody else's car and I walked away with a lunch and a driving experience.
So obviously I have been angling to get myself in this predicament since you started talking about it, but can I offer an aside? Find your friend and say, you know who needs to be invited to the next one? It's Vicky Fisher. She has a podcast about getting people on the track.
Next year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I stand by my statement because I've had an opportunity to do some of these things, and it just comes down to being a good person, being fun. And then
also this happened very quickly, very quickly.
We're beating the same dead horse. When I was retiring the first time, I went to a how to retire event, and the guy gave some words of wisdom about networking that has stuck with me. And a lot of people, when they network, it's all about the circles, who I know this person, I know that person, I know that person. And the goal of any networking, it's not the circles, it's the lines. It's be a driver, don't be a dick. People who put on these events, regardless of what their outcome is, they don't want scumbags around. They want people that are going to be fun and appreciative, and that are going to go out there and proselytize whatever it is they're trying to proselytize. And
here I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Totes jelly.
Okay. Well, if you ever hear about an event, if you hear something like this, let other people know, invite your friends. I'm sorry I didn't invite you any friends and Vicky Fisher. And if I find another one of these events, I'm going because this was amazing. That's it.
So
Thanks for letting me talk about it.
If you have one of these events, invite Chrissy.
Invite all of us. We'll all talk about it on the air. If there's a women in motorsports event, there's got to be a bald, middle-aged, punchy.
There's a lot of
those.
That's called the Corvette Club.
Oh shit!
There's a lot of you.
Yep.
All right.
You're
We're-
not special. I mean, you are second husband, but
She just meant your group, your demographic is not
Yes.
special.
Yes, I understand. I'm
All
not
right.
special.
This is getting ugly. Let's.
I'm very sorry.
Let's
This is
get
long.
done. Yes, that's fine. It was worth every second. I have a quick around the horn to wrap us up. I need some information. I have been back in the enthusiast high performance daily driving car market for like a couple months now, maybe 8-9 weeks. And I am driving around South Jersey in a very bright, very loud Hyundai Veloster, and I am absolutely hooning it everywhere I go. And I'm absolutely disappointed in the amount of people who are completely not noticing what I'm doing. And there is nobody at the stoplight that's revving on me. Joey 5-0 is not doing anything. I literally turned the loud pipes on, downshifted, and accelerated to a wide tired third gen Supra the other day with a giant wing on it and a turbo noise that could suck my head in. I put like 4 lengths on him before he even realized I was there. With the 1 second mental, except for whoever the maniacs are out there who want to roll in their Kia Stinger GT to 140 miles an hour on the Atlantic City Express. I'm sorry, Canada. That I did to Canada, because I would never do that. Why won't Joey 5-0 test me at a stoplight? What's going on? Mental seems to know.
All right,
Chrissy.
first off, that Supra is $150,000 car. He's not wasting his time with a Hyundai.
No, Gen 3. So that's the,
Okay, so it's a $70,000 car.
Yeah.
Uh,
it was
Joey 5, it doesn't matter. You're talking about the original twin turbo with the
Yes.
Targa option. Yeah, no, it's still a $75,000-$80,000 car. Try and find one.
Okay.
But
It's not the point.
the other is Joey 5-0. The actual Joey 5-0 is your age, and if he gets one more point on his license, he's totally going to lose it, and he knows this. All right?
His wife's gonna be so mad at him.
and he's already having to work second shift because he's got to pay child support on the first marriage. Okay, Joey 5-0 cannot afford any more mistakes. All right, Jeff Wakeman gets pulled over, and the guy's gonna be like, "What? Did you borrow your kid's car? What? Get out of here! I'm not giving you a ticket." Yeah,
I mean, you're
because
not
I
wrong.
get Joey 5-0 all the friggin' time.
what is my problem?
You're
It's
not
a
in an
Hyundai.
old man car.
it's a
Yeah.
He's in an old man
Seriously.
car.
Well, but everyone, Joey 5-0 recognizes an AMG 63. Like that's got mystique
And it's,
to
and
it.
it's not necessarily
You're
Joey
in-
5-0. I get Camaro ZL1s.
Yeah.
I
Same
don't
thing.
know what that
but
is.
they
Yeah.
know.
Same people.
They know an AMG
Jimmy
63
5-0.
is fast. Nobody, unless you are a very specific market, knows that the light blue Hyundai is anything special.
I agree.
There
They
are
think
enough,
it's a toy
especially-
car.
there are enough idiots in last generation Velosters that are all broken, running terrible tunes that are just nothing. That the kind of people you're looking to play with don't know. You find a Focus ST, yeah,
It's true. I have not seen any STs. I saw a Fist the other day, and he
Sure.
tried to catch up to me, but it didn't happen.
like that. A Civic Type R or something like that. they're
Civic
the
Type
ones
R's
that
are
gonna know.
there's. I might as well find a
Oh.
pink Zebra. They're
We have a
nowhere.
bunch of them
Ah,
off of 422. Well, I used
Yeah,
to see them. I
none.
don't see them much
Yeah.
anymore, but
I see
I
a
think
lot of them. Same
that
drill.
people don't know that the light blue little Hyundai is fast.
you could be
Agreed.
right. You
I
could
completely
absolutely be right.
agree. I think they think it's a toy car. Oh,
Yeah.
look, it's a little toy.
They don't know
Aw.
that has more power.
You pull
than
it
the
back and
NSX
goes.
does. Right.
It's the same about, right? 275.
Oh no, sorry, we have 290. I thought you had 300.
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
So-
275.
Okay.
Well, and yours is like,
Very
Japanese
different delivery.
market. Yeah, very different.
Right.
delivery,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah. They don't, it doesn't matter how
Oh.
fast it is, it's because that's what it is.
All right. Well,
yeah, you just got to find the right people to rev on.
I guess that's really what the problem is.
Camaro ZL1s.
Oh, anybody
Drive-
driving
won't-
them, they won't know.
They won't know the little.
That's
blue
what I'm
Hyundai.
saying. I'm
Agreed.
like revving next to guys in like young people in
Yeah.
like with their Instagram tag and their drag race numbers on their like current generation 50 Mustang. And then
Yeah.
I leap out and I'm like, did you not see me? Because
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not even trying.
Because
I
little
don't.
blue Hyundai.
yeah. I don't go around looking for that. It honestly, at least 4 times a week finds me on my way to or from work.
Well, the Mercedes it kind of has a look to it, and as soon as you see the 63 and the AMG, you're like, oh, okay,
Oh.
that's a fast car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be right. All right. Are we ready to put this pig to bed?
Sure.
Am I
Tuck it in,
mixing metaphors?
roll it up,
Metaphors?
give it a
Does anyone
blanket.
do we know what we're doing next week?
Sausage.
No,
No,
nope, no idea.
we'll figure it
Actually,
out.
no idea. We'll figure it out though.
Yeah.
Should be good.
Thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even you. Even if you're Joey 50, looking at that little car next to you, you can race too. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It is totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Or if you're watching on Doodly Doo or watching on YouTube, type it right down the Doodly Doo. Tell me about how I'm wrong about the Porsche color. But anyway, if you hate us at 5 stars, if you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, everyone.racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can text us at 484-243-0455. That number again, 484-243-0455. Definitely text us if you have a Porsche driving experience and make it in New Jersey. So you'll tell Mental and he'll tell me. If it's out on the West Coast, then he'll just go.
The only person, by the way, texting us pictures of their junk is Tyler Stank.
Was it good junk?
It's junk.
It's junk. All right. Well, find us on
How is that even a
Instagram
question?
or the Twitters or wherever you are at everyone.
kink shame.
Racers.
Oh
Kink shame.
gosh.
No.
Absolutely. YouTube, Facebook, Everyone Racers, even Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the Macan side up
Taycan.
unless you got to take
Taycan.
it. Whatever. Just keep those wheels down.
Oh, all right. I'm going to stop
Taycan.
recording.